I started the Oregon Regency Society for selfish purposes, mostly because I wondered if there were people who were obsessed with the period and with Jane Austen as I was, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that there were hundreds of people that are of the like mind as I am. And so I started it in April of 2006, and we had our first event in 2007, and it's just been growing like crazy ever since then. The Regency period, I'm not a great scholar about it, but what I do know is that it was between about 1790 and 1820. It was between the Georgian period with the wigs and the moushes and the really elaborate costumes, and the romantic period where Gone with the Wind with the big crinolines and the beautiful gowns. And the Regency period, from what I understand, at least the fashion from that period is based on Roman and Greek styles, and the reason why they did that, from what I understand, what I've been told, is that they were trying to, after the French Revolution, they were trying to make themselves look less, they wanted to differentiate themselves more from, less from the poorer people and not make them feel so separated by just the costume. So that's part of the fashion thing. There are a lot of significant events occurred during that period. It was the dawn of the scientific age. There was the Napoleonic Wars, the War of 1812. It was one of the few times where women in that period were able to be free. They're not wearing really constricted wear, and their silhouettes and shapes were freer, and there was kind of a more open-mindedness, and a lot of important people came from that period. Charles Dickens was born then, the Bronte sisters, and Jane Austen, of course, and we talk about Byron and all these characters, and it's just a beautiful time. It's a romantic period. It was also in turmoil, but somehow they still managed to keep this gentility, and everybody kind of knew their place. So it's romantic for us. The Oregon Regency Society has many groups of people involved in it. People who are into the historic aspect, people who just like the costuming aspect. We have people who like to do military reenactment. We have Jane Austen scholars. We have costumers and English country dancers, and it's wonderful because it brings together all these different people, and we're all together for the same purpose and for the same love for the gentility of the period, and just all the reasons are good, and we all get along together, and we all come from different places, but we're all the same when we're in our costumes. So. We've had teas, elegant teas, and we've had also events where there's dancing and balls and parties. So we've had workshops to make bonnets and picnics and all sorts of other events where people can get together and play dress up, because it's really fun. We have been to the Ainsworth House and Gardens a couple of times. It's a wonderful venue. It's a beautiful historic house in Oregon City, and the owner has been just incredible, giving us just great deals so we can get in there and have this venue where it's beautiful, and we can just do our stuff there. And we've also been to Masonic Temple in Astoria, which is just gorgeous inside. It's just a big ballroom, and we've been to the Pittock Mansion, and also we're having our annual ball this year at the David Cole Queen Anne Victorian Mansion. It's not period, but it's just so spectacular that, you know, it doesn't really matter if it's not period. It's just a beautiful place. What I love about the Regency Society are the balls. I do love the picnics and the teas, and but the whole thing started because I was watching, I do a Jane Austen marathon every once in a while when I need my morale boosted, and I was laying on the sofa and I said, I'd love to be in a ballroom, sitting there gossiping behind a fan with someone, watching people twirl on the floor in Regency clothes, and it came to be. And you know, I go to the ball and there it is. It's this vision that I had in my head, and other people are sharing in it, and it's elegant and it's beautiful, and it's everything that I hoped it would be. So yeah, that's the reason why I love that. Well, I know, and for me personally, I do a job where I'm doing environmental work, and I'm in jeans and t-shirt all the time, and I've always had to be a tomboy through my whole life. And I think that part of this is because I want to feel like a girl. And so every once in a while, I'm not just putting on a dress, I'm putting on all the underpinnings, and I feel like a lady, and I have my little cap, and I think a lot of people are into the costume for that. I think people like to play dress up, people like to adopt other personas. I think that there's all sorts of reasons why people would be drawn to this sort of thing. I think the romance, I think people who want to talk about the things that they love, and if they love the Regency period, they're around people who also like to talk about it. So it's just, I think there's a lot of reasons why people would be drawn to it. I have favorite characters, but I don't know if I want to be them. I love Anne from Persuasion. I think I relate to her the most. I think that, I think just personality-wise and how relationship with family and such, I can relate to her. But who would I like to be? Everybody would say Lizzie Bennet, but I would say Eleanor. So I think she's sensible, and I think she's romantic, and at the same time I don't know, I just like her. So I don't know. Plus I like Colonel Brandon. But that would not be my my man, but still. Yeah. I love to sew. I love to sew. I make my costumes. I don't say I sew particularly well, but I try. But everybody has their different sources. I've helped people make costumes, but in the society, there are people who do costuming, and so I'm always pushing for members who don't have the ability to sew, go to this person, give them the business. There's resources online for patterns. There's all sorts of historical patterns that you can go to, books, and so, there's millions of places to acquire costumes, and, but I have 4 dresses, and I'm going to make a new ball gown for this winter. So, I think that if you've been thinking about getting involved with something like this and you think you'd feel foolish, it doesn't matter when you're with the same people who are of the like-minded sort. So I think that if you like Jane Austen and you've had this inkling to do it, then join us, and you won't feel like a goober. You'll have a chance to be around people who think like you and who appreciate the same things you appreciate. So there's nothing wrong with it. We have a good time, and what a great group of people.
Fantastic.